This video is about college and career resources that you have available to you at your high school as a student at Mountain View and Los Altos High School District. Thank you for coming. The first part of you getting to know your high school and how you can put together steps for what you're interested in afterward is you meet the people who are here to help you. We have Miss Felipe, Miss Price, Miss Duran, and Miss Lowe. Miss Price and Miss Duran are both at Los Altos High School. Miss Felipe and Miss Lowe are both at Mountain View High School. We are eager to help you. Thank you so much for taking this time to watch this video about what's available to you. You're probably a freshman or maybe you're even a sophomore who wants to get more information about what's available. Well, the purpose of this video is because our first goal for you is to graduate with a high school diploma, but even more so than that, we want you to have a plan when you leave. We also know that it's really fulfilling and valuable for students to have many options available to them, whether that's community college, a four-year university, an apprenticeship, the military, or perhaps a gap year. There are many different options to you besides the ones that are commonly spoken about. When we surveyed your freshman class, almost 90% of ninth graders responded that you wanted to attend a four-year college right after graduation. That's really impressive. That's a very high percentage of students that are interested in that path. So we want to make sure that you understand some of the stepping stones that you need to go through in order to achieve that plan. Here we have what are called A to G requirements. A to G requirements is something that you should hear throughout the course of high school. And what these requirements are the requirements from the UC CSU system for the minimum eligibility requirements that you need in order to be eligible to apply to the UC CSU system. I'll be saying UC a lot. A UC is a University of California, okay? And there are 9 of them in California, and I'll be saying CSU a lot. CSU is a California State University. There are 23 of them in California. There are quite a few. So by fulfilling these requirements, you could be eligible for all of those schools in the state of California. So that's pretty great. You have these different categories here that each correspond to the letter of A through G. A is for history of 2 required years. B is English, 4 years required. C is math, 3 years required. D is laboratory science, 2 years required. E, foreign language, 2 years required. Visual and performing arts, 1 year required. And G, a college prep elective. You'll notice that for math, you have 3 years required and 4 years recommended. Recommended is what it sounds like. It means that to be more competitive for the schools you want to apply to, they recommend that you take 4 years as opposed to just 3 years of math. All right, so that's the basics of A to G requirements. Something else that you should know is that those A to G requirements for UCs and CSUs are a little bit different than the graduation requirements for MVLA. So let's start off with some requirements that are the same. You'll see here in all of MVLA's requirements that they're listed as credits, right? Not as years. So how do we convert this? Okay, well, there are 40 required credits of English. For each year that you take English, you earn 10 credits as long as you pass your class. Okay, so 1 year of English equals 10 credits. So this 40 divided by 10 is going to be 4 years of English. So that's the same for MVLA, for the UCs, and for the CSUs. Okay, that makes sense. Another one that's the same, science. Laboratory science is the same, 20 credits, 2 years. That's required at UCs, that's required at CSUs. Okay, Got it. Let's make this more complicated. What's different between some of the requirements? Well, MVLA requires 20 credits, which is going to be 2 years of math. UCs, CSUs, they require 3 years. So they require more than the graduation requirements for MVLA high school. So if you want to go to a UC or CSU high school, you have to go beyond the minimum in order to achieve that goal. Okay, we just want to make sure that you're aware that there's a little bit of difference, but most of the requirements are the same if you want to apply to a UC or CSU. And the basic rule is that they have to be more complicated in order, not more complicated, they have to be more years in a subject area for you to be eligible to apply to a UC or CSU. So what are some of the resources that you have available at your high school? We'll start with the websites for each of your college and career centers at your high school. I'll show those in a second. You'll also want to check out our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel has an archive of pretty much all of the events that we've been doing in distance learning, even some this year that were not distance learning. So the more recent it is, the more up to date that information is. We have Naviance. Naviance is a great website that you have your own account on as an MVLA student that can help you put together resumes, that can give you access to career information, to college information, to surveys and inventories that you can take to help to get to know yourself a little bit more. We also have, during Acton tutorial time, you also have the possibility by using Teach More to sign up for different events or different workshops. All right, let's start with the Los Altos High School College and Career Center website. So when you click on the link, this website's going to pop up. All right, this little caret here has a drop-down menu that gives you even more options of what to explore for information that's available through the Los Altos High School College and Career Center. The link, or all of these things here, are going to be buttons, quick links that lead you to really helpful information. It's more for seniors and juniors than for freshmen or sophomores, but it's there. The YouTube channel is linked right here, and that's going to lead you to this beautiful archive that we have here, right? So something as recent as September 30th is posted for financial aid. That's very convenient. And then when you click on the link for the MVHS College and Career website, you get our landing page. So these buttons connect you to other helpful websites when you're a junior or senior. And then our navigation menu is on the left-hand side. If you click on home, you get even more options in the drop-down there. So for the YouTube channel, for us, it's going to be underneath presentations, College and Career Center YouTube channel. All right. Now let's get to this main event, Naviance. Okay. Part of the tricky thing of getting used to with Naviance is just how to log into Naviance. So we're going to actually start at your high school website. So for Los Altos, you go to your high school website and you scroll down a bit here. We have this button. It's labeled Naviance. You would click on Naviance. It's going to open up another screen where you're going to have to select student, and then you're going to click continue with single sign-on. If you are already logged into your school email, it should automatically log you in. Otherwise, you're going to enter in here your school email address and that password that you used to log into your school email address. For Mountain View High School students, you scroll down just a little bit. There we go. Naviance it is again. Same thing. Click on student, click on continue with single sign-on, and enter in your login information for your email. Something that I do want to make you aware of is sometimes when you log into Naviance from your high school website, it still does prompt you to search for your particular school. We think it's particularly easy to use the zip codes to search for your high school. So for Mountain View High School, our zip code is 94040. For Los Altos High School, The zip code is 94022. When you log in, this should be the screen that you see, and it should welcome you to your name. In order to navigate Naviance, you should be using this runner right here. Every time you click on a title, it'll have a nice drop down for the different options that you have available to you. You also have some fun stuff when you click on About Me that's closer to the upper right-hand corner of different things that are available. So there's that resume feature that I was talking about. For you today, you're going to be focusing on the self-discovery piece. So I'm going to go to self-discovery home. And this is the survey that we want you to take in particular. There are many different surveys here, right? You have a lot of different options that have different lengths. Each time you open one, it's going to tell you how much time it will take to complete it. So those time estimates are pretty helpful. Something that I do recommend is that you avoid the Strengths Explorer because this particular assessment you can only take once. So we want to make sure that you're using that wisely. When you take the AchieveWorks personality test, your results are then going to look like this. It will give you a lot of different information from each of your answers. So it's telling me my personality type and helping me reflect on perhaps skills or traits that I have. What I really like in particular, I'm going to keep on going. There's quite a bit of information explaining different aspects of what this assessment means. When you scroll all the way down here, you get some recommended careers. I think this is really helpful. I think it's really helpful to understand how potential skills and strengths that you have can connect with careers that you one day might be interested in. And you're going to be surprised. There are a lot of jobs that you might not have ever heard of before. So we can even explore more careers if we'd like by clicking on that bottom link that I just clicked on. It has all of the other ones. So it had given me some suggestions before, and now it's opening up even more suggestions. So I'm going to check out, let's try a nuclear equipment operation technician. Why not? It's very helpful, and then it's going to tell you the amount of education that you need after high school, the median salary. It also will group this particular career within a cluster. So maybe there's something else along the lines of this work, but not quite this job that you might be more interested in, and that's going to be contained within the cluster. You could spend a while clicking around this website and getting to know different pieces of information. Often students are very interested in the salary piece in particular, but it does categorize quite nicely the different things that you have to know how to do in order to do a job well. All right, we're almost done, you guys. You have been hanging in there. So I now want to show you another fun feature. It's the colleges feature here on Naviance. There's a lot of college information on this website. So I, in particular, like advanced college search. When I click on advanced college search, it gives me all of these different categories to select in order to closely search for a particular type of college. I'm going to be one of the 90% of freshmen and say that I'm interested in four-year university. I'm not sure about the difference between public and private yet, but I do like small cities and large towns, so I'm going to say that. And then to add more preferences, you click next. For location, you can click off entire region if you want. So I do like the West Coast. I think the West Coast is great. And then I have family in Massachusetts, so maybe I'll go to college there. And then I keep going. I click next. You can decide on the size of a school. So I'm someone who has a lot of questions all of the time when I'm in class. So I'm going to go for a small school. I don't have a ton of preferences though, so I'm just going to see what matches my preferences right now. So I have only 72 already. That's narrowing it down quite a bit. So I might want to go back and see if there are other things that maybe I would change. All right, what do we have here? We have quite a few options, not a ton. I'm going to pick Linfield University. I've never heard of that one before. Let's say I read about Linfield University and I really like it. I'm going to click on the heart and that will add it to a college list. So I'm going to click that. It's adding it to the colleges I'm thinking about list, which when you navigate here by clicking on colleges, all of those colleges are going to be saved here in the colleges I'm thinking about list. Okay, but I want to check it out still more. So the graduation rate it has over here is 65%. That's, believe it or not, around the national average. It has the average net price. This is a fun tool. So if your family makes between $0 and $30,000 a year, this is how much you would be paying for that private school. Pretty good, right? Maybe your family makes a lot more money. You think it would be that much money. It would be $31,000 a year. Okay, good to know. It also has specific information about accepted students from our particular high school. So that's also helpful to be aware of. All right, so you can spend a lot of time using the advanced college search here and then adding colleges by hitting the heart next to each college that you like. Let's say Naviance isn't quite your favorite thing. I really like a website called Big Future. And if you do Big Future College Search in Google, you're going to get the website that I want you to look for. When it comes to the college search that they have, it's just a little bit different. So once again, right, I'm searching here by location. So let's say I like Washington, Texas. I'm going to go for big states. California, I would do continue. And then I believe I can click out of it. And then for my major, let's say I want to study sociology. I like psychology, but I like studying it with lots of people. Then once I click continue, right, it's giving me all of these different options. Okay, I had to click continue before. I apologize. So California, and then no, I want only big states. Can I discard that? Okay, I guess to discard. Okay, so I click California, and then I would click Texas and Washington. Continue, show colleges. All right, and then it narrows down my results even more. Whitman, let's pick that one. So when I open up Whitman here, I have different pieces of information about the college in a similar way to Naviance. What I really like are going to be the academics. In particular, they keep up their list of different majors very well for a website that includes information about colleges. This is really similar to the Naviance search feature, but I find it sometimes to be slightly more accurate when it comes to majors. So that is most of the information that we wanted to highlight today for you in order to learn about college and career resources. My name was Miss Lowe. Thank you so much for joining me today. And please reach out to your college and career center support people. So that would be me, Miss Lowe, at Mountain View High School, or Miss Duran at Los Altos High School. Have a great day, kids.